Hey everyone, welcome to Kingdom Builder TV. I'm your host, Kelly Meade, and I'm so excited to have our guest on today. You might remember him from his time on American Idol or maybe even The Voice, and you might have gotten to see him earlier this year on tour with the Newsboys for their Let the Music Speak tour. Jeremy Rosado, how are you?
I'm doing so good. How are you doing, Kelly?
I'm good. It's great to see you again.
Same here, same here. It's been like a month or two now, something like that.
Yep, it was last month.
Okay, awesome, awesome.
It was so great getting to see you in person last month when you guys came up to New York on the Newsboys tour. Those concerts were so much fun, and I know that God really worked through the message and the music that you had to share. So, what was it like for you being a part of that tour and getting to share your music and your story with the audience every night?
Oh man, being a part of the Newsboys tour this year has been so incredible. I love those guys so much, Michael and Duncan and Jeff and Jody and Adam. It's like a dream come true, being on the road with them, just because I'm such a fan of CCM music and I grew up on Michael Tate's music and the Newsboys. And so just being there is crazy, let alone being able to call these guys friends now. It's just like God's been so good to me, and I'm so thankful for all of this, seriously. And it was just so much fun every night. Their show is incredible, and their fans are incredible, and so it was just like so cool to just like be introduced to their fan base and see how people were responding to the music. And yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah, I mean, I just really loved it. It was great because like I've been following your journey since American Idol, ever since like your audition for that. So it's been really
Wow.
awesome to see how God has like used your path all along the way. And you've had such a unique journey. I
Oof.
feel like the different experiences that you've had and the fact that you had to take a little bit of time off to raise your daughter and set your career aside a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like that's really an example of God's perfect timing and his purpose for each of us that he has. So, what was a little bit that God, like, how has he worked in your life through everything that you've been through?
Yeah, no, it's you said it great. I mean, the journey to get here has been so long and hard and yet incredible at the same time. I think my nephew, who's kind of like part of my road managing team, he told me that yesterday. He said something like, "This is an example of God's perfect timing in your life. Like everything that's taking place right now." Like you said, I did Idol. It's been 11 years since Idol, which is like so crazy. It's been a decade. Like what? And just doing Idol, coming off the show, really getting to take responsibility and really stepping up and become a dad, to my kid. And you know, well, that was one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me. She's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. It's not been easy, and that came with putting, to the side the music and everything I've been working hard for. And I like to say, I make it clear, like I would do it all over again for her if I had to. Like that's not even a question in my mind. But the goodness of God to be so intentional and perfect, and to open up the right doors at the right time, 10 years later, or let's say 9 years later, doing The Voice. Who gets to do both shows in this lifetime? In one lifetime, it's like crazy. And to make it so much further on The Voice and to actually see doors open, and my whole entire life changed. But it has been a journey to get here. And there's part of me that feels, if I'm completely honest, like, man, God, if it was just easy, if I could have just been like born into this thing or something, knew somebody who knew somebody. But I think there's something in the journey and the hustle and the struggle, and that's really beautiful, and it really makes it feel so much more worth it. And I think another thing is, I don't think 21-year-old Jeremy would have known how to deal with all this happening. You know what I mean? And people say that all the time, but I being just having even moments in the industry all this time up until now, I can say like God knows everything, and this is the right time. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely relate to that in a way because I know a lot of the things that I always was kind of like hoping and praying for during my 20s. I was like, I can look back now and be like, I would not have been able to handle that as when I
Yeah.
was younger, like 10 years ago or so.
Yeah.
So God definitely has even though we can be like, well, I don't know what's happening here, but but you do, Lord, so thank you.
I know that's right.
For
Oh, yeah.
sure. So you have been in the studio working on some new music, and I'm really excited to hear that. There was one song that you played on the tour called "It Doesn't End Here." That was one of my absolute favorites from the night, and
Thank
I can't
you.
wait for more people to hear that song. I think it has such a great, it'll have such a great impact on so many.
It Doesn't End Here is such a special song. I love that you love it so much because I love it so much too. And it's like at the top of my list of all this music. We've got like 50 plus songs for this album. And so we're like going through like vetting with the team, like, okay, is this gonna make the record? Is this gonna make the record? And that's a song, it just feels so special. And the message of just it being like, it doesn't end here right now. You know what I mean? Like if there's still breath in those lungs, there's still a chance, you know what I mean? And there's still another moment. If you still got one more breath, there's still one more heartbeat, there's still another moment to live life and to experience God's goodness and to tell someone you love them and to live it, do whatever it is that God called you to do. And so, but it really comes from, I was on a phone call with my sister, and I don't know how much we're diving into that today, but she's just, it's a very complicated situation. And long story short, she um, was going into a facility to get some help, some treatment. And she just kind of called me frantically crying. And she was just like, Jeremy, I need you to give me a reason to keep going. Like, is it going to be worth this? Is there a reason? And I remember just telling her, Amy, it doesn't end here. Like, there's still life to be lived. You still got your babies. You still got your daughters. Like, you still can be a part of all these things with them. And I walked into that co-write a few minutes later, and those guys were like, what do you want to write about? And I was like bawling my eyes out. I was like, I think I got to write a song called It Doesn't End Here. And then that was birthed from that. So yeah, that's where that comes from.
Yeah, that's awesome. You've got such, like you said, we don't want to get too terribly deep into everything else, because you've got such a powerful testimony that has been just like throughout your whole life. And I know that as time goes on and you're able to share more of it, it will definitely make an impact on people in such a wonderful way. So you did release another single earlier, or last fall you released Believe You Will, and love that one too. That's another really great one. Can you tell us a little bit about that song?
Yeah, Believe You Will, I wrote over a year ago now with my friends Jonathan Gamble and Monty Rivera. And I didn't have a record deal back then. I was just meeting with my team. Everything was so fresh. And I remember just being in this place of like, God, I believe you're gonna do this, man. You're gonna show up. You brought me through The Voice. You got me in these rooms I'd never dreamt I'd walk into before. I believe you're gonna do it. And it's funny because I walked into that co-write. I was like an hour late because I was running from another co-write earlier in the day. And these two guys had this title called Believe You Will. And it was just this hook. It's like, I believe, I believe, I believe you will turn this into something good. And it hit me like a truck. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Whatever this is, we got it right. And so, I've experienced the hand of God show up so many times in my life. It's ridiculous. It feels ridiculous, but I'm so thankful for what he's done for me, for my kid, for my family, how he's shown up right on time every time, how he's made a way, how we've never lacked, how he has been so gracious and so intentional and so great to us. And so this song was just like, I've lived this. I want to declare this over your life too. And if you can, anybody else can testify of the goodness of God, like, let's sing this thing together. You know what I mean? And let me encourage myself again to know that if this is the God that did it before, which he is, he can absolutely do it again. You know what I mean? And I believe he will. And so, yeah, that's where that was born out of. And that was the first single that came out, off with a label deal. And it's been pretty incredible.
Yeah, and I know that that's another one where, like I mentioned before, it will make such an impact on people the more that they get to hear it. And it is one of those where it's, if you're going through like a difficult spot, it's one of those that you can just kind of recall the lyrics of and have it help you to remember God's faithfulness. And like you said, if he helped you through it before, he's going to do it again, because he promises that, and he doesn't break his promises.
Yeah, I know that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Amen.
So you have had such great opportunities getting to work with different people, but who is someone that you have not been able to collaborate with yet that you would love to?
Ooh, Kelly, this is a good interview. I like these questions. So there are, I'm gonna tell you two. I have a dream collab, and then I have kind of a friendship that's building with another artist that I've been wanting to do. Obviously, I would love to like just tour with like different guys like Toby Mac, Danny Goki, like Winter Jam. All these incredible things are like bucket list for me. But like, there are two artists that kind of molded who I am as like a Christian artist and as a musician, as a vocalist, as a worship leader. Israel Houghton and CeCe Winans. And so Israel's kind of become a friend of mine, and we talk here and there, and hopefully there will be a song that can come out of that, God willing, and if he's down. And but with CeCe, I haven't met her yet, but she is for me I get weird talking about it because I love her so much. I mean, I was a 15-year-old kid in church singing, Mercy Said No in Alabaster Box, and there was just, she's just so special to me. Part of how I sing, the tone of my voice, choices that I make, she's in those roots for me. And so I've got a song that I really would love for her to be a part of. It's called When I Meet Jesus. And I guess this is my pitch. And my team's probably gonna be really mad at me, but whatever. But I don't know. That's my dream collab with CeCe Winans. With everything I've got, oh man, if God allows that to happen, and she would be willing to do that, that would be one of the greatest accomplishments of my life. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be incredible. And that song that you just mentioned, When I Meet Jesus, I remember that was another one that you sang on the tour.
Yeah.
And that I can definitely say that one is another where I could feel it in the room. Like everyone was just so moved by it. So you definitely have, God has given you such a gift to be able to share this way. And I'm so happy that he's going to continue to use you moving forward to get this message out there and affect people in such a positive way.
Thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate that.
So I know that you've been adding some more tour dates slowly for the rest of the summer here and there.
Yeah.
And you've got some other things going on. So what can you share that's coming up that you're looking forward to?
Yeah. What can I share? You can check out all the tour dates at IamJeremyRosado.com. I've got a bunch of events coming. I think we're going to I've got a show in Bradenton, Florida coming up in May, a worship night in Pennsylvania coming up, in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. I'm going to Elizabeth City, North Carolina. There's a bunch of dates and I can't remember all of them right now. There's a couple possible tours in the works too for later in the year. So all that's happening. I know I'm gonna do a lot of Christmas dates again. I did this Christmas tour last year where I headlined just 7 Christmas shows, and I think we're doing those again, which I'm excited about. But yeah, you can check all that out online at the website. But as far as music, I literally got a text maybe about an hour and a half ago from my producer, Jeff Pardo, with the first mix of one of the possible singles, which I'm so excited for. So anyway, all that to say, my single is going to radio, I believe at the end of June, beginning of July, which I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for people to hear it on the radio, and I can't wait for you to hear it too. I believe it's a song that I can't name, so we'll just call it Blank. But when Blank releases, I think it's gonna be something so special. I didn't perform it at the shows, so nobody's heard it yet. Yeah.
Well, we definitely cannot wait to hear what's coming up for you. And I want to encourage everyone to, like you mentioned, visit your website, IamJeremyRosado.com. Connect with you on social media because you have been posting little bits here and there that people can follow along with. And every time you get a new tour date, that'll be posted there too. So definitely, everyone, get out and see this guy if you can, because you will be blessed.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for joining me today, Jeremy. This has been great.
Absolutely, Kelly. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. I love your team, and what you guys are doing and what you stand for. And so thank you for supporting me from the very beginning. And let's keep having some more convos. If you guys are down, I'm down.
Absolutely. We'll definitely love to have you back maybe when the album comes out.
Yeah, sounds good.